right, Linda. So we're planning for next week's lesson. And what is your lesson going to be about?
Well, I want to introduce place value all the way to millions. So what I'm going to do is open with the book, How Much is a Million?
All right. So I want to make sure that I understand what we're doing. So you're looking at using a piece of literature in math.
Yes. And I want to introduce the book, the author, as I would in a literature lesson, and then we'll talk about a little bit about what it's going to be about. So I'll have them predict, what's this going to be about? The title is How Much is a Million? What do you think it's going to be about? And then I'm going to read the book out loud to them. So
Okay. So now we know what the student needs to learn, and we know how you are going to want to have them learn it. And you're talking about, I want to make sure I understand that. And so you also talk about what your tasks are your students want. And so here's my question though, is so what task will the students do when you engage them so that you can show that they've learned it? So what is your task going to be?
I think what I'm going to do is an exit ticket at the end for my assessment. So the task that I plan on them doing is I want them to engage in a conversation about the book. So I want them to write another segment of the text they're going to add on. So as you go through the book, each segment is says asks the question, gives an example, and then goes on. So what I want them to do is create another segment of how much is a million. So what's a million? So they have to come up with their own example. I'll probably have them partner to do that. Mm-hmm. They can talk about it, they can write about it, and then come back and discuss it with me. And then after that discussion, I'll do an exit ticket where they have to respond to what they define as a million, of how big it is, so how large it is.
Right. Well, it sounds like you do understand that you do have in there what the students need to learn, how are they going to learn it, and what task will the students engage in to ensure that learning happens. So it sounds like you've got all parts of your component in there. And then you also have a great way of exiting, not just an exit ticket, but also having them work in groups. So it looks like you're going to be able to observe them also and do that engagement piece.
Is there anything else that I should be doing in this task, beyond the discussion?
I think as you're reading the other thing I would suggest is as you're reading the book is to pause and maybe have some sticky notes or some post notes in the book on either, not every page, but maybe every 2 to 4 pages with, is there a question there to make sure that, you're defining, do they understand where you are so far in their learning? By having somebody restate what have you already read, when you read something, okay, what did I say again? Because I'm going to repeat what I've said so everyone understands it. So that's something maybe just like I said, just a post-it note in every few pages in the book, just restating, either you're restating or there's a question or an aha moment, or hey, did anybody remember this from the grade before? Those little questions that help trigger and start pulling some of that information out of, out of the back of their brains.
Okay. So using the sticky notes too, I think I hear you saying that would also prompt any discussion. So they're discussion cues. And also I think during the time that they're engaging in the partner activity or the small group, that's when I'm going to circulate the room and see if they actually understood. Mm-hmm. I think I can gather a lot from that discussion and figure out where I need to go further with that, in addition to the exit tickets. So.
Right, and then that will give you, the exit tickets will give you a great thing to see, what do you need to reteach, who do you need to reteach, all of it, small group, just a couple of students, or wow, they really have it, thumbs up, they have it, thumbs down, they don't, thumbs sideways, that's also a really, really quick thing, especially after you reteach it, that really quick note of, thumbs up, yeah, I got this, I'm still kind of fuzzy and I have no idea where I am.
Okay. I feel really good about this lesson.
Yeah, it sounds like a great lesson.